just south of Gadsden, just south of Birmingham, just south of Tuscaloosa. We're going to see a line of thunderstorms crossing the state here that's currently in progress that has the potential for a couple of perhaps stronger thunderstorms this afternoon. Let's give that some context here. What we saw this morning was a really good round of rain, some good wind energy, lots of strong straight line winds that moved through. They're going to go back and survey the National Weather Service and determine the actual cause of that, but damage is damage, and a lot of it offhand looks like straight line wind damage, but certainly could be something more, and we'll watch closely for that. Current watches in place. If you see your county shaded in yellow, you're in a tornado watch. Now, what is the difference between a watch and a warning? A watch, while it is pressing, is the less pressing of the two. A watch means we could have a tornadic-like development or a circulation that could go on to develop a tornado within the next several hours. In this particular case, until 6 p.m. for all these counties. A warning means imminent, happening now. This is not imminent. This is not happening now. This is simply a precaution when you think of a watch. We've had no tornado warnings to this point. I'm not thinking we will have them. The environment is not necessarily overly conducive for that. It was early this morning, at least from a standpoint of wind energy, but we'll have to continue watching. The SPC went ahead and issued a tornado watch given just the overall parameters of this current setup. So this afternoon, our threats. Very brief, very isolated weak tornadoes. Again, haven't seen much more than very broad weak circulation so far. Gusty winds are probably still the biggest thing, and maybe even some hail. Also pretty heavy rainfall. Keep in mind all those leaves that have come down, clogging those street drains. It really slows down, where water is going to go. And also the ground's pretty dry. It's pretty hard. It's not porous. So when this rain comes down, it goes every which direction, but it's not readily absorbed because the ground is so solid from the ongoing dry conditions. This is a look at the radar. It's 157. And we've got this band of thunderstorms back towards Tuscaloosa. So why are we focusing on this? I think this will be the final band of rain and storms for central Alabama and the final potential threat of anything strong. Look at the lightning strikes here on this lightning counter. That's 242 since 1:48 p.m. over the last 10 minutes. That's a pretty high count of lightning. So this line does pack a punch. What it does not seem to have is any sort of rotation, any sort of shear within it that is promoting this becoming anything tornadic or severe. There's not currently any warnings on this. Understand, you can have a thunderstorm that's loud and it's wet, heavy rain. It doesn't mean it's severe. You got to have 58-mile-an-hour winds or greater. You got to have quarter diameter hail or greater. You have to have a tornado. Lightning's not a parameter for severe weather. So while it is obnoxious, it is scary, these all fall below severe limits, and the winds are not threatening with them at this time. Again, where you see green, that is all going towards the radar. Red is wind going away. All the wind is moving unanimously in one direction here, which is a good thing. And it's also below any sort of severe threshold as far as strength and magnitude goes. So where is this line headed? Well, over the next couple of hours, this is going to head towards and along I-65. And once this clears, I think we're done. This is it. This is going to be the tail end of this system and mark the clearing point. So if you live in Tuscaloosa County, if you are north of Tuscaloosa, you're clear. Fayette, you're clear. Pickens County, you're clear. Once this pushes through, there's no more threat. And there's nothing right now that tells me anything at all along this line is going to turn not only severe, but at all tornadic over the next, 30, 45 minutes, couple of hours as it's head towards Calera. The most unstable part of the DMA continues to be Chilton County, parts of Perry County, and this is going to be areas that are really to the south of, a little closer to US 80 there, Montgomery. We saw a pretty good cell move through the Millbrook area, but areas well to the south that have been a little bit more untapped compared to what kind of got worked over earlier in the day today. So I'm going to hop on over to one of our models. This is what we call the HRRR or the HRRR model, and it's just a high resolution. It's a short-term model that runs every hour to give us kind of an idea of what's happening. And this one has done pretty well so far with the performance of this event. So at 5 o'clock, it's got most of this to the east of I-65, and that would mean anywhere to the west. We're in the clear, and I think that will be the case. By 7 o'clock, now most of the rain is done in the DMA, and I would fully expect that to be the case as well, at least the heavy rain. And as we move through the overnight, rain comes to an end. Clouds will gradually clear. or skies should clear rather. And by early Wednesday morning, we are much cooler. We're under a northwesterly flow. We might have some cloud cover sticking around, but anything impactful is long gone. So once again, just to recap here, and you can drop questions below. I'll try to go back and feed through this, but we're under a tornado watch, okay? Watch means conditions are possible. Right now, it seems fairly unlikely that anything will turn tornadic at all the next couple of hours, but it goes until 6 o'clock if your county's shaded in yellow. Right now, the biggest concern is heavy rain and some lightning. We've seen that in a pretty good abundance here with these cells coming out of Tuscaloosa County. This will eventually be in southern Jefferson. Honestly, if you're to the north of right here, Sylvan Springs, Birmingham, the worst of this is going to pass south of you there in Hueytown. Maybe Bessemer, Hoover, Pelham, Alabaster, you're going to get some heavy rain, lots of lightning, but the strongest part of this, as you could probably tell with the naked eye, is where you're seeing these purples, these pinks, and that's where your heavier rain is. That is where the lightning is concentrated. But the good news, there is no rotation with anything happening. It's just loud. It's a bit obnoxious if you're trying to get out the door for travel weather. I promise this will be out of here by later this evening, and our Wednesday and Thursday forecast looks much better. So that's just a quick update here on our Facebook Live. We'll have much more coming your way on the news at 4. James will be live at 5 as well as 6 o'clock. And of course, anytime we need to stream anything, we will let you know. This is more or less just to kind of give you coverage, give you peace of mind as far as what's happening. And again, if you have any questions, drop them below. I'll do my best to answer those as we go throughout the next couple of hours. So have a great day. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Hopefully you don't see me until then. I'll see you next time.